Good morning on this Thursday. I'm Nikki Stanzione.
And I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And this is New Mexico style. Not as bad outside today. I think, you know, a little more sunshine, a little warmer before the day gets started, although my car was pretty frosty.
Yeah, it is still really cold out there, still well below where we should be for this time of the year. But you know what? Nothing better than a hot Krispy Kreme donut to warm you up. A free donut at either location, Cottonwood or off of Wyoming by Walmart there. So stop by, get your free donut today as they celebrate their 2nd anniversary.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing. Definitely get out. I mean, free donuts. Who doesn't love that? And you like the regular Krispy Kreme the best, right? Me too.
Yeah, you can pick whichever kind that you want.
Yeah.
I like if it's the hot now signs flashing, I'm all about just the plain old Krispy Kreme donut.
That's my favorite too. Now, okay, we had talked yesterday about the whole Alec Baldwin issue. We actually talked to TMZ about it, and the fact that if you haven't been paying attention to the news, you know. Well, here's what happened, okay? It's a little bit of a fiasco. The latest buzz out of Hollywood. Basically, the 30 Rock star was playing Words with Friends, you know, the game, on an American Airlines flight. Now, when the flight attendant asked him to shut it down, he threw a little temper tantrum, which he's known to kind of do. He's done it with his daughter, in fact, one time, if you remember. He got the boot, and then he went basically on a Twitter tirade. I mean, clearly he loves his technology. So here's our question of the day. If somebody refuses to turn off their electronics on an airplane, is that reason enough to get the boot off the plane? What do you think?
Yes, there is nothing that drives me more crazy than the person next to me when they're saying, I get nervous when we fly, so I want everything to be just right and perfect. And when the person next to me is still playing their iPod or still like hiding it and sneaking it away, listen to their music when they say to turn it off.
I may have done that.
Here. I get a little paranoid because I'm like, okay, I think about radar. I studied in meteorology. I think about the frequencies and all this stuff. Like there's interference there. This is not good. So, you know, I kind of lean toward that side of things. Like, let's just do it. Let's obey the rules.
Well, he did also get vocal, and that also played a part. It also played a part in him getting kicked off, was the fact that he did get loud about it. So that part I definitely agree with. I have been known to sometimes listen to my music under the, you know, under the shirt or whatever. Yeah, I will not do it again. I will never do it again. In the meantime, we'd love to hear from you. We want to know what your opinion is. So please let us know. You just saw that graphic with all the details, and we would love to get your input, and we will let you know tomorrow what we heard from our viewers. Now, in the meantime, let's check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez for today's headlines. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning to you at home. Topping your morning news headlines this morning. All right, Rio Rancho kids are back in school this morning. We told you yesterday how a lot of parents were questioning the district's decision to cancel class for a 3rd day in a row, but bus drivers say the decision to stay closed was the right one. Parts of their bus routes were still snow-packed and icy yesterday. Crews spent part of the day yesterday, though, clearing up the streets. The district says the roads now are safe enough for the kiddos. The future of P&M's payment centers looks brighter. The 8 offices where customers can actually show up in person are supposed to shut down by the end of March. But yesterday, the Public Regulation Commission said it may delay or even prevent that from happening altogether. And that's good news for the 47,000 people who still pay their bills in person. The company claims that closing the offices will have saved about $500,000 a year. Former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky waking up in a Pennsylvania jail this morning. Sandusky was arrested yesterday on new sexual abuse charges involving 2 additional accusers. Authorities say the 2 testified before a grand jury that they were either molested or raped by the former assistant coach over the period of years. Sandusky now faces more than 50 charges stemming from child sex abuse allegations in the span of over a decade. His bond, by the way, is set at $250,000. And former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich is heading to prison. He will serve a 14-year sentence on corruption charges that included trying to sell the U.S. Senate seat that was vacated by Barack Obama when he took the presidency. Blagojevich is set to start serving his time in February. 'Tis the season. More people are flying this holiday season than last year. But you know what? Ticket prices are already 5% higher than they were last year. But it is still not too late to try and land that holiday deal. That is, if you're flexible. Listen to this. Experts suggest that you fly at least 4 days before or on the actual holiday to get the best prices. So they also suggest that you consider using nearby airports outside of the main city that you're flying from. Connecting flights also, they say, are supposed to be cheaper than non-stop flights. And don't forget to pack light to avoid those darn baggage fees. This is important news for parents to know about. We told you that the Food and Drug Administration was actually recommending a change in the way the Plan B morning after pill is distributed. Well, that yesterday was the recommendation was made to overrule that. The FDA's recommendation would have allowed girls of any age to purchase Plan B off store shelves without a prescription. But the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary said no way. She says she's concerned that very young girls couldn't properly understand how to use it without guidance from an adult. Now, it is the first time the White House has ever overruled an FDA safety recommendation. And that does it for your morning headlines right now. So don't forget to start your day every day with Matt Morrow, Kristen, and myself on KRQE News 13 from 5 to 7 a.m. Ladies, I'm going to send it back over to you guys.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Okay, so of course it's now Thursday, which means that last night was the performance show of X Factor. We had our eliminated finalists from last week on earlier this week, and last night it was the final 5 doing 2 songs. And as X Factor dwindles down, the last contestants are basically taking the que sera sera route as they stare down the possibility of being sent home.
Fox catches up with some of the remaining competitors to get their thoughts on where they stand in the talent competition.
I mean, come as it may. You know, people keep throwing stuff at me. It's cool, man. Get me in the bottom 2 again. Look, I'm gonna sing for my life again, man. Hopefully, I don't want to be there. You know, that's the last place I want to be. But man, I'm gonna fight, man. I'm telling you, I don't back down.
I feel free, you know. I mean, this is something I really enjoy. This is something I love. So I'm able to do it every night in front of 90 people. I'm able to do it in front of a mirror. It's amazing, and I'm just so happy and I feel so blessed. And God is good. I really believe that they're going to keep me around. It's going to go because they enjoy the music that I sing as much as I enjoy it. You know, so they'll keep me around to hear what I have to say.
I feel great about it. I feel really great about it. I wanted to do the Rihanna song. I pushed for it. I think it's a great song. I think we added some strings to it. We changed some chording around. We made it really different, and I loved it. And the other song is something very close to me, very passionate about that song. I think it's one of the most beautifully written love songs ever. So I feel great at the end of the day, man. I'm going to sleep well.
I felt great getting up there and just pouring my soul out. I'm good. You know, no matter what happens, I'm good. So.
I love little Rachel Crow. She was amazing. They were all incredible. Josh was referring to, he sang We Found Love in a Hopeless Place by Rihanna, and he changed the arrangement around. A little bit odd to hear him singing that, but he really did make a recovery later in the show with his other song, which was Something in the Way She Moves Attracts Me Like No Other Lover. And then Chris Renee did an original. So, you know, I have to say, you know, I love these kind of shows. If you don't watch them, I apologize for talking so much about it, but really I encourage you to watch these shows. Talent shows are fun to watch because it really celebrates the human spirit and a lot of talent that we get to see.
And kid-friendly, so it's always good to watch their kids now. But I do want to ask you this now, because you are the pro and like the guru when it comes to this stuff. Which one do you like better so far, American Idol or X Factor?
American Idol will always be close to my heart, but I feel like this show has a piece of an Idol because it's got Simon and Paula.
Right, that's
so
true.
It'll always be Idol in my heart, but I do love this show. And we've actually are going to find out who stays and who goes on the results show tonight right here on 2 Casa Fox. And we will talk tomorrow, hopefully, to the eliminated finalist. Who will it be? I don't know. I'm nervous. Okay. Anyway, our friends at the Aveda Institute, New Mexico are hosting a cut-a-thon. That's coming up this Saturday from 9 to 7. Very exciting.
A fee is being charged for all services, but all proceeds will be donated to Toys for Tots. We'll be talking more about that later on. Services will be provided to both by students and by Aveda professionals from Aveda salons throughout the city. The Aveda Institute is also a drop-off point for unwrapped gifts.
Yes, and this holiday event actually coincides with Aveda Institute New Mexico's move that we've been talking about over the last couple of months to the new location on Central and Rio Grande. And the grand opening is going to be scheduled for January 22nd. Big celebration for them. So we're very happy for them, and we wish them tons of luck in their new location.
And we also want to wish happy birthday today to the ABQ Biopark Botanical Garden and Aquarium. The Biopark is celebrating 15 years, and the party lasts 15 days. The celebration starts tomorrow, and there are party favors. The 15th person who visits the garden and aquarium each day will win a pair of tickets to River of Lights, which is coming up soon. And there are plenty of other discounts and giveaways too.
It looks like 15 is the lucky number. You can visit casa.com for a schedule of all the events, and we encourage you to celebrate all the wonderful things happening around our community. And really nice to hear that there are celebrations of anniversaries like that. 15 years. I mean, it just goes to show that it keeps on going strong, and that people really do appreciate all the things that this community has to offer, which is so nice.
Absolutely, and the weather's getting a little bit better to head outdoors too. So starting to warm up a little bit out there. But this morning, a really cold start. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with the weather right now. 21 degrees, winds out of the west at 3, and you can see a little fog back there. So over toward the mountains, be on the lookout for some fog this morning down in Ruidoso. Yesterday, we started to see some of that snow melting, but you can still see it piled up on the sides of the roads. It's going to take a while for all of it to melt just because of this cold air mass that's in place and because of all the snow that came down. 16 is what it feels like in Albuquerque. Bundle up. 2 in Santa Fe. Teens and 20s down in the southeast. But today, poor little Frosty, he's going to start melting a little bit. 40 degrees in Albuquerque this afternoon, 35 in Santa Fe, and down in the southeast, 40s to low 50s. But don't worry, kids, it's not going to be warm enough for him to completely melt away today. I think he'll still be left as we'll fall back down into the teens and 20s again tonight. Temperatures warm up a bit today. Tomorrow, cold front moves through. That'll bring in a brief cool down by about 10 to 15 degrees, but still a lot of sunshine, no snow with this system. We'll be watching for snow going into next week, but not before a nice little warm up. Mid-40s as we head into the weekend and early next week, and again watching that snow Tuesday and Wednesday.
Maybe it'll stay warm enough and the snow will stay away just a little bit longer. And still ahead on New Mexico Style, stick with us. We've got a real simple solution to simplify your life.
And we're making one last push to collect toys for tots.
And those must-have gadgets for your holiday wish list. Stick with us.